Well, it has been, what, a week? 2 weeks? 4 weeks since I last streamed. No, that's not true. You've seen right through my clever ruse. Alright. Were we done with the investigation? Was it a long investigation? Where are we? What's some of the evidence we have? We got the badge. We got the picture of the dad. And his name. Inga's autopsy report is stabbed from behind. This is the tomb. That's the body. He was stabbed in the back with a knife. This is one of his buttons, which was in the incense burner. This is a pink butterfly pendant spattered with blood. There's a fingerprint. We don't know whose it is yet. Belongs to Inga. I don't remember where we found that. Was he holding it or something? There are blood stains that were wiped up. They don't belong to the victim, and they were leading from the chair to the from the chair to the sarcophagus. Painkiller. Oh, that's right. He has prosopagnosia. Okay, that's why I'm supposed to be interested. Okay. He has painkiller shots because he had really bad chronic back pain. He had a notepad where he wrote down people's different characteristics, like what their hairstyles and clothes are. Woman's photo. She has a diamond on her forehead. This might be person lady. Nana. This might be Nana holding Rafa. In which case, maybe Nana is her real mother, and Queen Garan is actually not her mother at all, and so it's going to be totally fine that she's going to be sentenced to death when we find her guilty. A channeling picture, because Albie snuck in and took a picture of her channeling for someone. Albie's statement, Shadow was surprised by a firecracker, ran into the courtyard, and stole Nana's hat. Dats leapt out of a bizarre manhole, got yelled out by a dog and a war rod, then threw a firecracker. The shocked look on Albie's face had dots and stitches when the police came along to detain them. This is a lot of details. The noise spooked Shadow, who ran off. When Albie caught up with him, Shadow had what looked to be Nana's hat. Oh, and this is the stuff about the case 23 years ago. They couldn't do the divination seance because nobody knew his real name. Or had any pictures of him. Okay, very good. Oh, was there anything else? No, that's it. Hey there, son. Came to see your old man again? Hi, Dirk. Guess they're done questioning you? Yeah. You'd think Nayuda might have cut his old man a little slack, but no. He really laid into me. Seems they're really keen on recovering the Founder's Orb. When I wouldn't tell them where it was, he confiscated what few possessions I had left. Wait, Dirk's not wearing his attorney's badge. They even took that from him? Well, he isn't a practicing attorney and hasn't been for the past 23 years, if I'm not mistaken. He confiscated all of my prized jailbreaking tools. How dare he? What did you expect? I mean, no prosecutor in the right mind would let a prisoner keep stuff like that. Did he take your attorney's badge, too? No, I thought it strange, but... Just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. I wonder why. Indeed. I find it hard to understand anything he does these days. He's really focusing on the badge. Is presenting the badge going to be the final thing that we do in this case? Of course it is. Your Kuranese attorney's badge. You've worn it all these years, even though all the lawyers are gone. Yes, because the dragon's eye is the embodiment of my creed. To show the world that a dragon never yields, huh? Hey, Dirk. Why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream, not until my very last breath. A dragon never yields, right? Oh, that was Nayuta saying it. Exactly. Nayuta, Apollo, I vow to restore Karayan's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. He was always saying stuff like that to the two of us. Oh, I was watching Pitch Shifter last night. I guess he's got a long weekend. He's going to be playing a lot more Octopath. He got to whoever that person is that doesn't speak English. I actually should go back and see like his reaction to getting to that part of the game in general. But when I came in, I guess he was already used to the mayin' my arrow flying truin'. And I tried looking it up. Okay, so apparently that's early modern English is what it's classified as from the year like 1600 or so. And perhaps accurate? I don't know exactly how accurate it is. It does sound very silly because if you went any older than that, you get the incomprehensible, like Canterbury Tales, Meg Gwyneth Brown, Jan Givnane, it's like none of these are English words. But the early modern English, we're so used to seeing it faked in video games and books and movies that I can't tell what's real archaic English and what isn't. So it sounds fake because it doesn't sound like normal fake old English. And it's hard to try to explain that to him. I'm like, yeah, see, we sometimes, if somebody's gonna do fake old English, like they're gonna write their own old English, and not old English, and not Middle English, but actually early modern English, there's a particular way that you fake it so that everybody goes, oh, I understand it, but I get that it's supposed to sound like old English. And because this doesn't sound like normal fake English, I can't tell if it's just worse fake old English or if it's accurate old fake or accurate old real English. It's so weird though, because she changes every single word to a bunch of nonsense. Nayuta, is the reason why you didn't take Dirk's badge because you still remember those talks too? I really hope that's what it is. Son, would you keep my badge for me? Oh, we're going to present his badge. Are you sure? I can't take something so important to you. That's exactly why I want you to hold on to it, Apollo. I'm placing my fate in your hands. Alright, I'll make sure it stays safe. Here, why don't you take my badge? I'm proud of you, son. You've really become a fine lawyer. Well, at least it means I'm qualified to defend you. To think the day would come where you'd come to my defense. I'm one lucky man. Now I can die in peace. Whoa, slow down. I'm going to prove you innocent, so... just times 0, son. Even when he's in the slammer, Dirk is Dirk. Oh, I probably do have to present something, though, right? Before I can leave. Is that for me, son? No, I was just wondering if you knew anything about it. What? You came to visit me and you didn't even bring a present? Take that as a no. I found this in the tomb. Look familiar? That's... Dirk? Where did you find it? Down between the monk statues in the tomb. Is it yours, Dirk? Oh, it's something I bought. Why is he suddenly acting all awkward? I wonder when I lost it. Let's have it. It's very important to me. Of course. Just make a note about it for future reference. Returned to Dirk, but a record of it remains in the court record. Apollo, remember how Inga said he had someone dear to Dirk? Why don't you ask about that? Oh, right, I'll give it a try. What a weird trigger. Well, that is odd. Because Marstad's playing through Phoenix Wright 3, and he's sort of gotten a little bit more onto the, like, he understands the meta a little bit more. That you go up to somebody, you talk to them, and it may turn out that, okay, you need to present something, they'll say some information, and then it'll be clear from the conversation that a new dialogue option has opened up. So then you go to talk and you ask them about it. And here, they did that, but the thing... Phoenix just kind of brought up at random. Like, this seems like a random unlock. Like, we're not gonna ask him more about the pendant. What did the minister mean when he said he had someone dear to you in the palm of his hand? Who was he talking about? Nayuta seemed to know, but he wouldn't tell me anything. Well, I have no idea, so... Well, you obediently followed his every word after he said that. So it seems to me the minister was in close proximity to someone you really care about. Oh, someone you really care about that isn't Nayuta? Wait, don't tell me. Is there a new lady in your life, Dirk? What? No, don't be ridiculous, son. Nobody likes girls. Dots? Dots? The love of my life was Amara, but she's gone, and there will never be another. My bracelet! Wait, does this mean... Dirk, have you really not met somebody new? Oh, I think that was she's gone now, his hand. I think that was it. His hand started moving when he said she's gone now. Unless they mean the stroking the chin, but that's... because he stops doing that. Dirk, you seemed tense when you said that Amara was gone now. To the point where your arm was moving around. What are you talking about? You're hiding something up your sleeve, aren't you? Huh? What's with these wild allegations? I'm not hiding a thing. My arm had an itch, that's all. Itchy arm my butt. I'll just have to take an extra close look at his tics and confront him with something he can't explain his way out of. What does that mean? Does that mean they want me to do it again?
Gotcha!
I'm gonna try that. You seem uneasy, Dirk. Wait, don't tell me you're ashamed because she's much younger than... Yeah, no. Intrusive questions. Yeah, I guess that's not it. Okay. Yeah, he only strokes his chin during the very first segment.
Gotcha!
Dirk, you can't fool me. You tensed up when you said, "But she's gone now." And you unconsciously moved your arm, causing something to press up against your jacket. How did you do that? So that's it. You're hiding a woman's photo up your sleeve. You don't have to keep secrets like that from me, Dirk. You're an eligible bachelor now, but you'll introduce her to me at some point, right? I keep telling you, there's no other woman. Fine, then let's see it. What are you hiding up your sleeve? It's just this. Satisfied? But that's the pendant we found in Amara's tomb. See? I wasn't trying to hide anything. Then why did he tense up? Dirk, let me take a look at that. Hey, what's this button for? Whoa! It's a picture of Dirk and some lady, and she's really young looking too. Mon Dieu, are you into younger women, Dirk? Dirk, you old dog, you got yourself a younger lover. It's not clear that that's him from 23 years ago? Will you stop with this nonsense? This is Amara before she died. If you look closer, you'll see that I was younger too. Hey, you're right. Oh, that's no fun. Wait a second. Haven't we seen this woman before? Now that you mention it, isn't this woman the same as the one... Isn't this woman the same as the one in the pendant's photo?
Take that!
Okay, so Amara is still alive, disguised as Nana, and she's Rafa's mother. And Dirk is her father. And her death was faked. Nobody actually died. Apollo's father's probably still alive too. Everybody's alive. No one's ever gone. Palpatine. The woman in the pendant is also the one in this photo. Apollo, where did you get this? From the safe in Inga's room. She has gray hair. She's basically... Yeah, they take one look at her and they're like, she's so young. Apollo. If this is Queen Amara, it had to have been taken at least 23 years ago. But that's just not possible. Cameras weren't invented back then. Yeah, I just noticed the same thing. Here's why this photo couldn't be 23 years old. The dragon book.
Take that!
Take a look at the law book. It has the mark of the Defiant Dragons branded on it. But that mark didn't exist until after you started your revolutionary activities, Dirk. So this photo must have been taken after Garan came into power. And that didn't happen until after Amara was assassinated. Gnrrk. So then, how could Amara even be in this photo? The question is, are we going to put all of this together before the trial, or are we going to go through hours and hours of court of Apollo going, what's the deal with this lady? Wait a second, that would mean Amara is still alive? Arrgh, dots. Looks like you found me out, son. Wait, so it's actually true? Dirk! What do you mean Amara's still alive? I thought she'd been assassinated. So did I. But it seems she made it out alive, only to be held captive by the Garan regime. Why would they do that? When I fled from the law and went underground 23 years ago, I heard some shocking news from a Defiant Dragon spy. There were rumors of Queen Amara being sighted in the palace. So did Inga know? Did Inga know, or did it? Is it gonna be something silly like the guy with prosopagnosia knew? Because even though she was wearing a disguise, he was like, wait a second. Diamond on her forehead, and the other person has a diamond on her forehead. I can't recognize any other facial characteristics, but this must be the queen. This must be Amara. Assassinated ×0. And those rumors turned out to be true? Yes. I snuck into the palace to see for myself. She was confined within the grounds, but otherwise, she was as fit as a fiddle. So then, the sarcophagus in the tomb, it's empty? Yes. That entire tomb is one big charade. Garan had built it to stage Amara's death. So we're not going to be cursed by her vengeful spirit? That's a relief. She was being held under virtual house arrest. So I freed her and we made a run for it. This photo was taken back then. Look at how they're both grinning from ear to ear. There's a fingerprint on the metal part. I guess Dirk must have left it by accident. Oh, Mr. Sadmati, I want to hear all about how you ran away with Queen Amara. I'm surprised Amara agreed to run away with you. I mean, Garan must have told her that you tried to kill her. I tried to convince her that I wasn't the one who set the blaze. And she believed you? She said, and I quote, I shall accompany you so that I may ascertain the truth myself. She always was a tough one to read. I bet she was thrilled when you came to her rescue, Mr. Sadmati. To be set free by your beloved. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Yeah, no more than 3 options at a time. And, like, Marstead has started to make a really big deal out of, you know, in Game 3, he's getting through and he's like, everybody gets 4 conversation options, no exceptions. It's like, if that is true, I definitely never picked up on it. Like, that if you talk to someone and you wind up with 3 options, that there will be a 4th one that you need to unlock. I'm like, I'm not sure about that. Here, apparently, this screen's not big enough for 4. No squishing buttons together. You gotta remove one. Yeah, well, there was no happily ever after once Garan's people caught up with us. They took Amara away to who knows where. I snuck back into the palace and searched high and low for her, but she was wearing a hat. They probably moved her to some remote mountain prison or the like. Dirk, does Nayuda know about this? He knows she's his true mother. I told him as much. Wait, is that why Nayuta is following Garon's orders? Most likely. So then, do you think that deep down he really doesn't want to prosecute you? Well, he's not one to show his feelings. I searched high and low, but she was probably somewhere to my right. I was being chased by the giant wheel from Prometheus, so I could only keep going straight. And lately, I've had no idea what he's thinking. Apollo, we need to grill the Queen about Amara when we have the chance. I was wondering about something. The little baby the lady's holding. Is that Prosecutor Sadmati? Not necessarily. It could just as well be me. After all, we're only 1 year apart. I don't know. I mean, the kid in the picture is too cute to be you. And how old... Okay, so hold on. So how old is Rafa? If they're 25 and... Well, no Apollo, but he just said he's 1 year apart. 25 and Rafa is 14. Strange. Alright, so maybe I don't know how this is going to work out. Let's settle this by asking Dirk himself. Who is the baby? You got your new computer! Nice! Oh no, there's a weird issue. I can't help you with that. There's a weird sound issue where it works when I use the back panel for my headphones, but when I put them in the front jack, the sound is all garbled and terrible. Could it be like a magnetic? There was... What was it? It was my phone. I'm trying to remember... There was something weird where I figured out that if my phone was, like, resting on a cable, that it would, everything would sound weird. And I figured, oh... But it was only if the phone was turned up. No. I'm making stuff up. Don't pay attention to me. Dirk, about this cute little kid in this photo, is that me? Huh? What are you talking about? See, I told you it was Prosecutor Sadmati. Oh, I see. Well, either way, it's not you, son. So then... If it's Nayuta, it was taken when he was about 1 year old, right? That would mean you ran away with Amara around 22 or 23 years ago? You're pretty good with numbers, son. Impressive. Huh? What kind of answer is that? Before you go, son, there's something else I need to tell you. Something important. Okay, so... The fact that he was evasive about that means it is Rafa, and it means it was not 23 years ago that he escaped with Amara, but more recently, 14 years ago, and that they were away long enough for the two of them to have a baby, or was she already pregnant from somebody else when she escaped? We'll figure it out. Yeah, there's a lot of high-pitched whining sounds from the lights in my PSU, and I'm way sensitive to those. It's fine when I'm listening to stuff, but annoying when I'm not. Otherwise, it seems to work fine, thankfully. Yeah, I would hate to have a computer that just ambiently made a loud... Well, not even loud, but high-pitched noise. From the lights and from the PSU. I mean, I guess you can replace a power supply without too much trouble. If you wanted to. Just to see if that solved things, to go, hey, here's 50... Well, because, as we all know, from anyone who knows the deep Hiten lore, I am no stranger to replacing computer parts. What is it, Dirk? I've never seen you act so serious before. Wait! There is room for 4! They were replacing this needlessly. Well, I guess they had to replace 1. So what's this something important you have to tell me? Listen, son, even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow, I don't have long to live. Huh? What are you talking about? What I mean is I can already hear the Twilight Realm calling my name. There is no escaping death now that it has set its sights on me. What? Is this another one of your jokes? I wish it was. You can't fool me, Dirk. That's strange. Why isn't my bracelet reacting? My bracelet, it always reacts to jokes. Are you sick? It's something like that. So you're not joking. Gigantic link. Why do lights make high-pitched noises? If my screen's in standby mode, it beeps whenever it flashes. See, because I keep thinking, like, since I keep having the problem with Final Fantasy XIV, where if I try to stream it or I try to record it, it's all, hey, Faded, I am not dead. I simply don't have the motivation that I wish I did to stream. And also, I seem to be having a sleeping problem. Like, I'll sleep and it'll actually be 8 hours, and I'll still be like, I still want to sleep more. Afraid not, son. Sorry. Isn't there a cure? Or at least some sort of treatment? Unfortunately not. Not for what I've got. If you need some kind of surgery, I'll work hard until I can pay for it. So, please. It's too late. There's nothing more to be done now. But you always say a dragon never yields, so why are you giving up now? Apollo, I'm sorry. I really am. I don't understand. Why is this happening, Dirk? Why? Because it's dramatic. Listen, Apollo. I've got a favor to ask of you. Would you keep quiet about this? I don't want my fellow dragons to find out. They'd lose all hope if they knew I was dying. Would you do that for me? Of course. It's a promise between men. Why is this happening now? Just when I was finally starting to feel like you really are my... If you need some sort of surgery, we'll do a crossover game with Trauma Center. Oh no, I can hear, yeah, I can hear those too, usually. If a TV's like on, but it's just on whatever sleep mode, but it's still on, you can totally hear the high pitch. Although I guess that is supposed to go away as you get older. Like, where was it that they were talking about, like, how they didn't want teens and kids and hooligans loitering around stores, so they started to install like speakers that put out a really, really high-pitched sound that only, supposedly only people, under 20 or so would be able to hear. In order to discourage them from hanging out there. Damn it. Why? Apollo? Listen, son. I don't have much longer to live. But I'll never let them execute me. Not before I finish what I need to do. I know, Dirk. There's no way I'm going to let them prove you guilty. Before he goes, I'm going to turn back time by righting the wrongs that have been done. It's gonna be just like Danganronpa 3. They're gonna be executing him. He's gonna be in the spaceship, and he's gonna die of I was a spaceman disease before the execution finishes. I'm going to restore Dirk's freedom. And return a real smile to Nayuta's face. I'm going to win this case. I just have to. For once, not time travel. First game we've ever played on stream or off stream with no time travel. It is, however, the exact thing that always happens in every single Phoenix Wright game. Where in the final case you prove not just that someone... You don't just prove that someone is not guilty, you also exonerate somebody from a past crime. It happens in 1-4, and then it happens in 1-5, the extra case. I don't think it happens in the Matt on guard case, 2-5. It kind of happens in 2-5. Yeah, it does, because you wind up proving, I guess, what really happened in case 1-4. It's 3-4. And then in Apollo you literally actually do like switch back and forth between the two time periods and run a case in the past and a case in the present simultaneously. And then what was the one that we just played before this? Dual Destinies, where we prove Athena's mom. Yeah. So almost every game, almost every one of those games ends with this shtick. Where you go, oh, somebody was murdered 23 years ago, and he's been blamed for it the whole time, but we're gonna fix it. I have one more big secret. What? You've got as many secret backstories as Apollo. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. Huh, what's that supposed to mean? Big secret. Time machine. I can't rule it out. Can't rule out time travel yet. We have about a 12-year discrepancy between a photo and a known age. She could be a time traveler, or maybe they'd put her into cryogenic sleep, like 999 VLR. Forgive me. You'll just have to find out for yourself. That's the only way. I don't understand, Dirk. Anohito. Who did that? Anokoto. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. Dirk. What is he talking about? Wait, he's not going to reveal that he actually is the killer, is he? Or is it going to be that, is Apollo's father going to turn out to be the killer? No, that'll seem to be the case, but then it won't in the end. Looks like we've run out of things to discuss. Apollo, are you okay? I'm Daijobu. Okay, oui, Brian. Free him now, release Dirk. What's going on out there? Sounds like the party's getting started without me. Huh? It's coming from the temple. Let's go, Apollo, and take a look. Yeah, that's kind of a dick move. He's like, he really is the killer, and I was defending him. And now I'm being put to death. What is all this?
Coming to take their courts back. Don't hold back, man! Arrest them all!
You would think that the police would have guns, or at least would have magatamas that they could point at people in order to shatter their psyche locks? Oh good, Dats is effing something up again. It seemed like he was just all by himself, like, hey, I'm gonna punch my way into the thing and break him out. And then arbitrarily everybody showed up at the same time, coincidentally, to be like, oh, we were gonna come here and have a protest. Dirk belongs to the people. Give him back. Yeah, where are you holding him? Quiet down, you. They have my big sister too, but she didn't do anything wrong. Ouch, youch, stop pulling my hair. Release my son, release him now. Ah, stop that, no biting. This is really something. And it looks like Dats and Mrs. Inme are leading the charge. You unenlightened fools, do you honestly think this will change anything? Yuri, why do you keep serving that witch Garan? It's Nayuta. Guns are illegal in Japanifornia, but this isn't Japanifornia, correct? We are in a brand new, totally different country now. That is also not Japan. They specified. You again. What's going on here? It would appear that the insurgents are fanning the flames of rebellion. But I never thought it would grow so large. However, they will all be under arrest shortly. Reinforcements are almost here. They'll be arrested? Just for protesting? They are aiding and abetting a criminal by seeking his release. Also, they were just biting cops? Did you not catch that? Most of them were biting every single one of them has little policeman skin between their teeth. We have Emma to test for that. Her Eminence, Queen Garan, has ordered they be arrested and judged en masse. But weren't you once a member of the Defiant Dragons too? How can you go along with this? I am simply following the orders that Her Eminence has handed down. They just enacted the Sympathizer Culpability Act. It can't be as simple as that. Listen, Ayuda, there's something I want to talk to you about. Hey, you're not getting away this time. We need to talk. I see there is no reasoning with you. Very well then, speak. Ayuda, do you really have to serve as prosecutor on Dirk's case? I mean, prosecuting your own flesh and blood, it's just not right. Again, with this drivel, your ethical standards are not the be-all, end-all of the world around you. I'm not getting into another debate with him. Nayuta, did you know that Dirk is sick? What? He apparently doesn't have that much longer to live. If found guilty, he probably wouldn't even make it until his execution day. We are making that up. He did not say that. We have no reason to suspect that. What are you talking about? Knowing this, are you still prepared to send an already dying man to his grave? You should be. That's okay. Screw it, just arrest people act. It's the best law, and I'm not just saying that because I would die otherwise. Well, enough with the Zen monk act, Nayuta. Tell me how you really feel. Mr. Justice, each person is born with a role to fulfill, and I must fulfill mine. Well, I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to trial is part of your lot in life. As for why you've been at Garon's every beck and call, I think I might have the answer. Nayuta, you know the truth about your mother, don't you? About how the former queen is still alive and being held somewhere. So Dirk told you, did he? Yes, it's true. My mother was Onigaku... Shoot. No, what do they call it? What do they call it? Onikakushi? Onikakushi is demoned away from, So what's the original? Is it originally Kamikakushi? Yeah, Onikakushi was how they said, like, spirited away by a demon in Higurashi. So is the original Kamikakushi? My mother was spirited away to some remote corner of this kingdom to keep her safe from harm. Safe from harm? But Dirk said the Garan regime is holding her captive. No, they are keeping her safe. So you don't know where Amara is being held? I only know that it is some secluded hideaway where visitors are not allowed. I have heard she leads a simple life akin to that of monastic disciplines. Sure sounds like she's being held captive to me. Sento Chihiro no Kamikakushi. Listen, Nayuta. Aren't you really doing the queen's bidding because she's holding Amara captive? And this whole thing with Dirk, you know he didn't really kill Inga, don't you? Dirk doesn't have much longer to live, so I want to help him however I can. This time it's our turn. You could have been killed, but you risked your life to save us. Why? What a silly question. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Ayuda, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me. Understand? It's our turn to help Dirk however we can. He's got a lot of dots for me. And more. What you speak of is futile. Let it go and move on. The guilty verdict, the hopelessness. You must resign yourself to it all. Clinging to false hope now will only serve to magnify your future despair. So let it go and move on. Dots horrible. Nayuta, are you really going to just roll over on this? I have no more time for idle chatter. I must prepare for tomorrow's trial. Now, if you'll excuse me. Apollo, I sensed a whirlpool of emotions coming from within Prosecutor Sadmati just now. Anger, shock, bewilderment, and an icy sorrow as deep and dark as an abyss. Yeah, I picked up on that too. You got any special powers? You can tell if someone looks sad? That's not a special power. Get out of here. Looks like Dirk really won't be the only one who will need my help tomorrow. I think it's about time to pay Queen Garan another visit. Important female character is being held hostage, so important lawyer will be a pawn for the evil people in power. They just did this. They did it with Wright. They did it with Maya being captured. They did it the other time that Maya was captured. There might have been one or two other times that they're like, yes, okay, right. 2-5 when Maya was being held hostage. This game 6-3 where Maya was being held hostage again. The princess is in another jurisdiction. There's only like 4 law stories. Haven't you ever seen that series Law and Order? It's 4 episodes long. 1 season. Just the same old law stories over and over, including the law. That's what I forgot, right? The other time that we proved that someone in the past actually wasn't guilty of a thing that they're being accused of from years ago was in the Layton game. It also happened there that they went, oh, but back when the dragon originally showed up, that was your fault that, you know, that everybody died in the thing. And it's like, oh no, actually it wasn't. The royal guard isn't around. That is utter hooey. You cannot continue to deceive the people like that. Rafa, justice is much more than simply speaking the truth. Is that Princess Rafa and Queen Garan over there? There's no guards. We can assassinate them both. This is a good plan. You deceived me too, Mother. How can I ever believe a word you say again? You nincompoop! Ah. Your benevolence. Just look at his theme song. Dong dong. I couldn't help but overhear. You impudent katonk. Katonk katonk. See? Law and order. Are you okay, Mr. Wright? I can't believe she actually punched you. Yeah, I'm used to it by now. I'm used to it being a whip or a sword or face lasers or thrown coffee cups. What's the matter with the princess? It sounded like she was arguing with her mother. Maybe it has something to do with this picture. Rafa said she had to ask her mother about some secret or another as soon as she saw it. So then, does that mean Princess Rafa knows what really happened? That Amara wasn't assassinated and is still very much alive? It would seem so, and she doesn't seem to be taking Garan's lies very well. But that's no surprise, considering how much Rafa reveres her mother. That would definitely cause her a great deal of anguish and sadness. Eavesdropping, are we? How very rude. You there. Are you not Dirk's son? Oh, nice to meet you, Your Eminence. We're actually here to speak with you, if you could spare a moment. Yes, I'm gonna shove it in your face. Oops. Oh, it actually worked. To burn such a mark upon a sacred text of the law, he will surely be visited by what he has wrought. And to think he once called himself a man of the law. I think it's just his way of objecting to the DC Act. Yet that act is but an objection to his falsified evidence. How appalling that even now he recognizes no responsibility and knows no shame. Okay, let's actually talk. Amara's alive? Your Eminence, Dirk told me about Amara. About how she's still alive, that is. We know not of what you speak. After Dirk learned Amara was still alive, he rescued her and they ran off together, but she was captured and remains captive in a secret location to this day. As for Nayuta doing your bidding, it's only because Amara's life is in your hands. He's like, he can't wait to be done with this case. He's like, here is all of my everything. Blarg. What an active imagination you have. Ha 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 ha. A lawyer and a comedian. How droll. Whoa, where'd they come from? Anyway, if she's going to play dumb, I'll just have to jog her memory with some evidence.